Hello everyone, welcome back to AeroHub and welcome to the series of lectures in aerospace structures. And in this lecture, we will discuss how to estimate the crippling strength of a hat section. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the difference between crippling stress as well as buckling stress, and we discussed a method called Needham's method to estimate the crippling strength for different types of sections which is used in aircraft. In the last lecture we estimate the crippling strength of a square tube, and in this lecture we will use the same Needham's method to find out the crippling strength of a hat section, which is basically used as steel stringers for the upper half of the wing section. Now we can see we have a hat section and this is assumed to be a formed section, so we have to consider the center line properties, and the compressive yield strength is 280 megapascal and the Young's modulus is 75 gigapascal. The total area of section is 1.75 centimeter square. Now to proceed this problem, we have to find out the total length of the section, and you can see that this section I can divide into two equal part. Okay, this is symmetric about vertical axis. This section is having a vertical symmetry, and to find out the total length, you can see this length is 0.9375. okay, so we have the total length as, I can write the total length of the section. So this will be 0.9375, that will be into 2, 0.9375 multiplied by 2, because we have vertical symmetry, plus we have 2.5 here, also 2.5, so it will be 2.5 into 2, plus we have this vertical height 3.75, that will be multiplied by 2, 2 into 3.75, plus the horizontal distance. This distance is not multiplied by 2 because it's a common distance. It will be 3.125. okay, so I'll be getting an answer of 17.5 centimeter. okay, so the area is 1.75, it is given, so the area is 17.5, area is equal to 17.5, that is total length, into the thickness, that is 0.1, so the total area is 1.75 centimeter square. okay, this is how you are finding out the total area of the section. Now we have to use Needham's method to find out the crippling stress for the entire section, and Needham's method is basically called angle method. That is, we are dividing the sections into number of angles, then we will compute the crippling load for each and every section, then we'll add the crippling load of every section and divide by the entire area to find out the crippling stress for the entire section. Now in this case, I will divide the section into, this is section 1, this is the angle 1, and this of same height, this will be the angle 2. okay, and this one will be angle 3. okay, so this one will be angle 1, this is angle 2. Each this angle 1 and angle 2 is having the same dimensions. The value of end fixity coefficient is varying for 1 and 2, otherwise the dimensions are same. okay, for angle 3 we have different dimensions. okay, for angle 3 we have different dimensions. I can take the angle 2 as we can take any dimensions for this angle. okay, for example I can take the angle 2 up to this length. okay, but we can make this problem very easier by choosing angle 1 and angle 2 of same dimension, only the value of end fixity coefficient is changing. So the formula for finding out the crippling stress for a section by Needham's method is given by FCS, that is basically the crippling stress, divided by root of FCY into E is equal to CE, that is the end fixity coefficient, into B dash by T, the whole power 0.75. This is the formula to find out the value of crippling stress for the entire section using Needham's method. So FCS is basically the crippling stress. FCY is given, that is nothing but 280 megapascal. E is the Young's modulus, that is given as 75 gigapascal. B dash by T is nothing but A plus B divided by 2 times the thickness. Okay, thickness is given as 0.1 centimeter. A and B are the dimensions of the flange. I can take A as this distance, this vertical distance, B as this distance for the angle number 1. Okay, now we will consider each and every section to find out the value of FCS or crippling load for angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3, and we will multiply into 2 to find out the crippling load of the entire section, and we will divide the total area to find out the crippling stress for the entire section. Okay, now we will consider angle 1. This is the angle 1. So angle 1, and this is the diagram for angle 1. This is angle 1. Okay, and I will take this dimension as A and this dimension as B. Okay, and we have assumed that this is a formed section, so we have to consider the center line property. Okay, and here A is nothing but 0.9375 centimeter and B is 2.5 divided by 2, that is 1.25. So since the section is a formed section, we have to consider the center line property, that is A will be equal to 0.9375 minus 0.1 by 2. Okay, that is 0.9, that is the distance minus the thickness by 2. Okay, to include the center line property. So this will be 0.8875. Okay, similarly B will be equal to 1.25 minus 0.1 by 2. So this will be equal to 1.2. Okay, so we got the value for A and B. Now we have to find out the value of B dash by T. So B dash by T is nothing but A plus B by 2 times the thickness. That is already derived earlier. This is 1.2, not 2.2. Okay. B dash by T is given by B dash by T is equal to A plus B divided by 2 times the thickness, and the value of A is 0.8875 and the value of B is 1.2. 2 times the thickness, 2 into 0.1. Okay, so I will be getting the answer as 10.4375. okay, this is the value of B dash by T. Now we have to find out the area of the angle 1. Okay, we have to find out the area of angle 1. To find out the area of angle 1, we need area per unit length. Okay, so the total area is given by total area, I'll write as A is equal to 1.75 centimeter square, that is given in the question, and the total length is, we already derived, L is equal to 17.5 centimeter. Okay, so the total area per unit length, okay, area per length will be 1.75 by 17.5. This is the area per unit length. Okay, now the area for angle 1 will be area for angle 1, that I can write that A1. A1 will be equal to this area per unit length multiplied by the total length. Okay, I am not using A and B here. Okay, so I'll be using the length of the section. If you remember, this length, this is our angle 1, this is our angle 1, and this distance was 0.9375 and this distance is 1.25. I have to use this two length. I should not use the value of A and B, that is 0.8875 and 1.2. That is used for centerline property calculations. Okay, since we are using a formed section, so I should use the given length for the angle, that is 0.9375 plus 1.25, and this will give the area of the angle 1. That area is 0.21875 centimeter square, or I can write it will be 0.21875 into 10 power minus 4 meter square, because the value of Young's modulus as well as the value of compressive yield strength is in meters, so I will convert into meters. Now I will find out the value of FCS by FCY. FCS divided by root of FCY into E is equal to CE B dash by T all power 0.75. Now we have to find out the value of FCS. We know the value of FCY, FCY, Young's modulus, B dash by T, that is 10.34375. The value of CE. Okay, the angle 1, we have one edge free. Okay, one edge free. Okay, therefore the value of CE is 0.342. We have discussed this in the previous lectures. What is the value of CE? That is the end fixity coefficient for one edge free, two edge free and no edge free. So the value of CE for one edge free is 0.342. So I am substituting the values of to find out the FCS of angle 1. I will write FCS 1 is equal to root of FCY into E into the value of CE B dash by T 0.75. Now substitute, I will get root of, what is the value of FCY? FCY is 280 megapascal 10 power 6 and the value of E is 75 gigapascal 10 power 9 into CE is 0.342 into, this is multiplying not dividing, into B dash by T, that is 10.4375 into the whole power 0.75. okay, this is multiplying. Okay, after 0. This is the value of CE. Okay, so finally I'll be getting the value as 9.1 into 10 power 9 Newton per meter square. That is the value of FCS for section number 1, angle section number 1. Okay, so you got the value of FCS for section number 1. The ultimate aim is to find out the crippling stress for the entire section. For that we require the crippling load for the sections. Okay, so the crippling load PCS for section 1 will be equal to the crippling stress for the section 1 into the area of 1. Okay, that will be 9.1 into 10 power 9 multiplied by 0.21875 into 10 power minus 4. Okay, so I will be getting the answer as 199.08 kilo Newton. This is the value of PCS for section number 1. Okay, now we will consider the angle number 2 to find out the crippling load of angle number 2. Now we will consider angle number 2. You can see here in our question, this one is angle number 2. You can see angle 1 and angle 2 will be having same dimensions, and there will be change in the value of CE, that is the value of end fixity coefficient. So I'll write angle 2 is equal to angle 2. So this is the diagram for angle 2. This is the diagram. And this is a formed section, so we have to consider the center line property. Okay, and this distance is A, and I will take this distance as B. Okay, somewhat it is visually not good, but you just cope up. And you can see that the value of A and B are same for angle 1 and angle 2, and the value of CE here will be 0.366, because for angle 2 this is no edge free. Okay, so I can find out the value of FCS very easily. So FCS of 2 will be equal to FCS of 1 was 9.1 into 10 power 9. Okay, and FCS plus the value of CE for angle 1 was 0. I divide by the value of CE for section number 1, and I'll multiply with the value of CE of section number 2, and this will yield the value of critical stress or crippling stress for section number 2. That is the value of this is the value of crippling stress for section number 1 or angle number 1. I'll divide by the value of end fixity coefficient of angle 1 and multiplied by the end fixity coefficient of angle 2 to get the value of an crippling load or crippling strength for angle number 2. So I'll be getting an answer of 9.73 into 10 power 9 Newton per meter square. Okay, now I'll multiply it by the area of this angle 2, and you have to also understand that area of angle 1 and angle 2 are also the same. So the value of crippling load for angle number 2 will be equal to FCS of second section into the area of second section. The area of angle 1 and angle 2 are same. That will be 9.73 into 10 power 9. The area is 0.21875 into 10 power minus 4. Okay, so I will be getting an answer of 213.03 kilonewton. This is the value for angle number 2, the value of PCS for angle number 2. Okay, now we will consider the angle number 3, angle 3. Okay, so angle 3 will be something like this. This is the angle 3. This is having larger dimensions than angle 1 and angle 2. Angle 1 and angle 2 is having the same dimensions, and this I will write as A, and this dimensions as B. We have to include the center line properties here also. Okay, now what's the value of A? What's the value of dimension here and here? Okay, so the value of A will be, you can see the total length vertical height is 3.75. Okay, so the angle 3 is from this dimension. Okay, from this length to this height. So that will be 3.75 minus 0.9375. Okay, that is the value of A, minus thickness by 2. That's the value of A. Okay, and the value of B is 3.125 divided by 2 minus the thickness by 2. Okay, are you getting? The value of A will be, this is the value of A, that is 3.75 the total height minus 0.9375. That's the value of this vertical height of the angle. Okay, minus thickness by 2 gives the value of A. Similarly, this 3.125 divided by 2 gives the horizontal length of the angle number 3. Minus thickness by 2 gives the value of B. So I will write here the value of A is equal to 3.75. That's the total height of the stringer. Okay, hatch section. 3.75 minus 0.9375 minus, this gives the actual height of the actual vertical height of angle 3, minus 0.1 by 2, that is nothing but we have to include the center line property, and the thickness is 0.1 here. So this gives 2.7625, and the value of B will be 3.125 divided by 2 minus 0.1 divided by 2. So this gives 1.5125. Okay. Now B dash by T is equal to A plus B by 2 times the thickness. So A is 2.7625 plus 1.5125 for B divided by 2 times 0.1. So I will be getting the answer as 21.37. Okay. Now the FCS of angle number 3. Okay, so I will get root of FCY into E into the value of CE into B dash by T, the whole power 0.75. Okay, so the value of CE will be here, no edge, that will be 0.366, same as of angle 2. Okay, and I have the value of B dash by T, that is 21.37, whole power 0.75, and I have the value of root of FCY and multiplied by the Young's modulus. We have done the previous step. Okay, so if I substitute all the value of FCY, E, CE and B dash by T, I will be getting the answer for FCS of angle number 3. So FCS of angle 3 is 1.66 into 10 power 10 Newton per meter square. This is the angle of FCS of angle 3. That is nothing but the crippling strength of angle number 3. Okay, to find out the crippling load of angle 3, we have to find out the area of angle 3. Okay. To find out the value of crippling load of angle 3, we need the value of area. So area of angle 3, area of angle 3, I write as A3 is equal to total area, that is 1.75, already given in the question. The total length is 17.5. Now it is multiplied by the total length of angle 3. So the total length is 3.75 minus 0.9375. Okay, this is the vertical length of angle 3 plus 3.125 divided by 2. This is the horizontal length. Okay, so in the previous step, to find out the value of A and B, we have to find out the value of A, what you have done? We have done 3.75 minus 0.9375 minus 0.1 by 2. We have subtracted this value, that is each value with thickness by 2 to get the value of A and B. Okay, so here I'll be getting an answer of 0.4375 centimeter square. So this will be 0.4375 into 10 power minus 4 meter square. Okay, so we got the value of area. Now the value of crippling load of angle 3 will be equal to the crippling stress of angle 3 into area A3. So this will be equal to 1.66 into 10 power 10 into 0.4375 into 10 power minus 4. So I will be getting 726.25 kilonewton. Okay, so we got the value of PCS for three angles. Okay, angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. And we have the question, and this was our question, and this I am not drawing the entire diagram, I'll just show the, okay, this was our question. Okay, so this was our angle 1, this was our angle 2, and this one was the angle number 3. So we found out the value of crippling load for angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3. So the crippling load for the entire section will be multiplied by 2 because this is having symmetry about the vertical axis. So I can write FCS is equal to, FCS for the entire section will be equal to PCS1 plus PCS2 plus PCS3, okay, plus into, I am multiplying this equation by 2 because we are aware that the section is having a symmetric about a vertical axis. Okay, that's why I'm multiplying by 2 divided by the total area of the section, that is 1.75 into 10 power minus 4. Okay, 1.75 centimeter square, that will be 10 power minus 4 meter square. Okay, so we know the value of PCS1, PCS2 and PCS3. So I'll substitute PCS1 as 199.08 into 10 power 3. PCS2 is 213.03 into 10 power 3 plus PCS3 is 726.25 into 10 power 3 multiplied by 2 divided by 1.75 into 10 power minus 4. Okay, so when you substitute and simplify, I'll be getting the value of crippling stress for the entire section. So I'll be getting 1.3 into 10 power 10 Newton per meter square, and it's nothing but 13 gigapascal. This is the value of crippling stress for this section of hat section. Okay, so now we are able to determine the value of crippling stress using Needham's method for any type of section. The method is you have to divide the given section into number of angles. Then we have to find out the crippling load for each and every angle. Then we have to find out the crippling stress for the entire section. We have to sum the total crippling load for the individual angles and divide that by the total area to get the crippling stress for the entire section. So that's all about this lecture. In the next lecture we will discuss Gerard's method. Thank you so much. Take care.